Hello and welcome to another complete OCR GCSE PE lesson. This one is on the structure and function of the skeletal system, specifically the second learning objective in the specification, which is to understand and be able to apply examples of the functions of the skeleton. So why do humans have bones? What roles or functions do these bones or the skeleton have? The skeleton has several different functions and there are 6 that you need to know about. The first is support, and support essentially means to bear the weight of something, and the skeleton supports the weight of the body. For example, the bones of the feet and the legs, like the femur, tibia and fibula, which support the weight of the body above them when running. The skeleton also supports the weight of external objects, like this example here. The skeleton provides support for a weightlifter as it allows them to hold the bar in a static position at the top of the lift. And we'd be talking about bones here like the vertebrae, which make up the spine, and of course the bones in the arms, like the humerus, radius and ulna. So support is all about bearing the weight of something, and the bones play a crucial role in that. Number 2 is posture, which refers to how you sit or stand. So the skeleton enables us to sit and stand upright. For example, the skeleton enables a long distance runner to maintain an upright posture. Number 3 is protection, which is quite an obvious one. So the bones protect the delicate vital organs. Examples include the cranium, which protects the brain when heading a football, the ribs and sternum, which protect the heart and lungs when being tackled in rugby, and the vertebrae, which protects the spinal cord. And as you can see in this image, we've got a section of spinal cord being surrounded and protected by the vertebrae. The next function of the skeleton is movement. So the bones provide attachments for muscles via the tendons, tendons being pieces of connective tissue which connect muscles to bones. When a muscle contracts and shortens, it then pulls on the bones via the tendons, creating movement at a joint. Example: during a bicep curl, the biceps muscle pulls on the radius bone in the forearm, creating flexion at the elbow. Number 5 is blood cell production, and blood cells are produced in the bone marrow, specifically the red bone marrow. Now, white blood cells support the immune system by destroying pathogens like bacteria and viruses, and red blood cells carry oxygen. More specifically, they contain a protein called hemoglobin, which binds to oxygen, forming oxyhemoglobin. Applied to a sporting context, we could say that red blood cell production allows a marathon runner who relies on the efficient delivery of oxygen to their muscles to continue exercising for long periods of time without tiring. The final function of the skeleton is mineral storage. So bones store minerals like calcium, and minerals are essential for a range of bodily functions. For example, calcium helps to maintain bone density, which reduces the risk of injury when tackling in rugby. Now that's literally everything you need to know on the functions of the skeleton, but before we finish, we'll have a look at a couple of exam questions to put some of this information into context. So the first question here: one function of the skeleton is to allow movement so that rugby players can tackle and run with the ball. Describe how the structure of the skeleton allows movement. And the answer I've provided here is that bones provide the surface for tendon attachments. So bones enable muscles to attach via the tendons. When the muscles contract, they therefore pull on the bones, creating movement at joints. Next one, name the part of the body that the vertebrae protect, and we mentioned that this is the spinal cord, so 1 mark for that one. And then finally, other than the ribs, name a bone that protects the heart and lungs when controlling the ball with your chest in football. So this one links to our previous video on the names and locations of the major bones. The bone other than the ribs that protects the heart and lungs in the thoracic cavity or chest cavity is the sternum or breastbone. Okay, so that was everything you need to know on the functions of the skeleton. If you benefited from this video, click the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and join me next time for the types of synovial joint.